Do you think some of the guys are turning down the right shot a little bit too often?
Sometimes, yeah. But, too much of any good thing is a bad thing. You can be way too unselfish. You can be way too passive. I think you got to find a fine line. And yes, obviously, if Steph is open, you pass up your shot to get it to him. But when it comes to everybody else, like if you find your shot and you're in rhythm, you take it. If you're not, it's simple. Pass it to the next open guy or create for somebody else or create for yourself. I think a lot of the times we do a lot of thinking and it doesn't end well for us.
Steph, do you see some sense of hesitancy on some of your guys not to take the shot? Do you tell them, hey, it's okay if you miss or make, just take the shot, or do you want them to keep passing the ball, just trying to make sure the perfect shot's there?
There's a reason they're playing this zone for a whole half, pretty much, and they're trying to force um, a certain type of shot. Obviously, I took probably 4 heavily contested deep threes just to try to kind of will us. But if they're gonna do that and they're gonna play zone and make certain guys shoot it, then it's the same way we talk about it all season long, regular season, playoffs. Like everybody's in this league for a reason. If you have a shot, take it. I don't need to say anything. Coach don't need to say anything. You're out there, be aggressive. Look for your shot and we'll live with it. That's the name of the game. The shots that we're creating or the shots that are open, keep taking them. I think we can be a little bit more patient on certain possessions, but you have to make shots at the end of the day.
I think I've never been so mad, or maybe as in the past, but not this season, with a game like last night. I swear I was watching, and at some point I want to throw myself on the wall. I just couldn't believe it because of the situation, because where we are right now, the Warriors team, and because now we actually turned the table and the Warriors are not the favorites anymore. We had a 3-1 lead, 2 games to close this series, and we are blowing that up. And last night was annoying to watch because no one else that is not named Jim Butler or Stephen Curry would hit a freaking shot. It's insane, like open shots. And that has been a problem with the Warriors the entire series and for a long period of the season. Is that we don't talk that much because then we grab a win, because then Jim Butler saves the night or Stephen Curry saves the night, or you have one or other night where Brandon Brzezinski goes and explodes for a 20-plus points, or Moses Moody. But what happened is all that lack of experience enough, and that we thought that they would feel the pressure that we believed that would be the Houston Rockets team, we saw on our rookies and everyone else on our team that wasn't Jim Butler or Stephen Curry. You look at Draymond Green, our other veteran, has been doing a terrible series, like terrible. A lot of turnovers, fighting, took a flagrant with less than 2 minutes in the game, not really serving as an example to everyone else. And then you get guys like Quinton Post that we believe that was in a grow up and in a path. Like you can't blame and roast the guy too much because he's a rookie, but he just became unreliable. And then you have a veteran like Buddy Hield that's a shooter that last night could not do one freaking open shot when you need the most. It's a tight series. It's obviously that the Houston Rockets is a great team. They are a second seed for a reason. They have one of the best defenses in the league. They play hard, and they have a great coach. And let's be honest, like the Warriors still had a chance in some of these games because they don't have a massive offense system. But you can see that their coach is really smart. He's playing the zone. He's playing 2 bigs. Steven Adams has been recording the season high in minutes every single game and grabbing rebounds, which is another problem, obviously. And then you have Steve Kerr that, for me, it's a great coach. I said that here before. but trying some things which obviously rely on the player. But then GB2 played nothing last night. Couldn't stop Van Vliet, that was the goal. Couldn't hit open shots either. So you see, like, no one actually is scoring. And then what that happens, I said here yesterday, it's that it makes too easy for the Houston Rockets defense, because they know I just need to tie the defense on Curry, or I just need to tie the defense on Jim Butler. Everyone else just leave it because they're not doing anything. So the Warriors right now put themselves in a position that is just horrible, and it's unlikely. Now there's a higher chance that the Houston Rockets will go to the next stage. Then they're playing at home. They are a higher up seed in the season, and they have the momentum, right? Because now you just blew up like 2 games already, and now you're playing against their fans as well. And you don't know who you can rely on. Because now, like, if you're Steve Kerr or you're Stephen Curry, you're Jim Butler, you're like, who I can rely to be that third scorer? We don't have John Kuminga. So one of the things that I want to talk today, it's like, and let me show the box score and then we go through it. It's like all the consequences of this game and what that might means for the future of some players, of the Warriors, like the way that things are rolling out. If we don't go to the next, because obviously if you win, reality is like, then we go to the next stage. There's implications on that as well. But people forget it, right? Because that at the end, there's the way that it works. But if we lose and we're out and we start our holiday vacation for the Warriors earlier than we want to be, there's a lot of implications on that. So look at the box score. We're 15 out of 49 from the 3-point line. We are a 3-point shooting team. And we shoot 30%. If you remove Stephen Curry from the equation, that drops to what, like 10% or something like that? Maybe 20. So no one can do anything. Like, and so what happens, like last night, it never looked that we were really taking control of the game. We did some runs, we got close, but when you need like that shot to really put the stone on that momentum, then Brandon Porzingis had an open shot and lost it. Or when we were doing a run to get it back, the defense goes back to the fourth quarter and Van Vliet scored like a 4-point play. Or Buddy Hield miss open shots, or the team cannot score for like 6 minutes. It's difficult, right? Without a third scorer in the league, even if you win the series, you cannot win a title. Look at every single thing that we have right now. Either they're going to have a superstar that's scoring 40, 50 points, which you can rely right now for every night for Stephen Curry and Jim Butler. Or you need like 2, 3, 4 guys that can score, right? And that's what the Warriors don't have right now. So when you see the whole box score here, you can see like how it was difficult. So when we go to the next game, like everything is going to have to the game 7. We're going to need Curry to have one of those nights, Jim Butler to be locked in, Draymond to stop his turnover, to don't get in this VS of like fighting and flagrant and unnecessary, because there's a thing about being tough. There's another one about being dumb. Like some of those actions, they are not helping at all. And we need someone to step up. I don't know if it's going to be Moses Moody. I didn't like that starting 5 for me. I was like, what is going on? For me, it was Moses Moody that actually was our third best point last night with 13 points coming from the bench that would start. So I don't know. I just think like there was a mistake from mobile pieces, and we need to make more effort. Like that Steve Adams, the Hacken Adams didn't work. We were doing that, and then we lost like 2 offense rebounds. Come on, guys. We really need it. It was really annoying, the game last night. It was frustrating. And as a fan, like I'm really scared right now that we might go on a vacation much sooner than we want it to be. So the implications for this game, right? Game 7, we are veterans. We have to fly. They're a much younger team. We're not going to have time to rest. And there's a lot of pressure. You don't know who you can rely You don't know what freaking starting five the Steve Kerr is gonna put it, and everything is a mystery. Like, we know that they're gonna play tough, they're gonna try to make an early run, and that they're gonna be more fast, they're gonna have more energy, very light. What you rely and you try to create hopes for is that, as some people say, the last game to move on in a series is the toughest one to win, because you have the pressure, the other teams with their back on against the wall, they know it's do or die. So we hope that now the Rockets team, being young, not having the experience, that might count against them. But so far, we haven't seen that in these last two games. VanVleet has been leading the team. He scored, if I'm not wrong, like more than 6 3 points in the last 3 games, which means exactly the ones that the Rockets are rebounding and have been doing more points. Like, you still have Jim Butler and Stephen Curry. They're being reliable, even not having great nights. If you forget the blowout one that they didn't actually play many minutes, they're scoring 25, 30 points, close to at least, but you need someone else. We don't have Jonathan Kuminga. That's, for me, it's implication number one of this series. Kuminga is done with the Warriors. We can talk about later. I'm going to do a video in probably a few days talking about potential trades for the summer. I know some of you, and I think maybe it's an interesting option, are already asking for Adams, that are Kristaps Porzingis, that probably is going to be out of the Rockets. There are many options out there that's going to come with the summer. We're going to talk about it. So implication number one for me, it's like now it's more difficult. Kuminga is out on the rotation for good. I don't think he's back to the Warriors next year. I don't think Buddy Hield's going to be out back to with the Warriors either, because he's unreliable. He started the season really well and then becomes like, you never know when he's going to show up. Moses Moody might become a trade chip, because he's going to be needed, like his salary, to complete something else, some trade that I think the Warriors might do. And I don't know what's going to happen with Draymond Green, because I know that he leads the offense, but he's getting too much into his mind. Like, he's more fighting than playing. And he gets frustrated and just maximizes stuff. He start complaining with the refs. Like, you understand, right? For example, Stephen Curry gets frustrated with the team. He start doing those shots from like super far, contested, difficult ones, as you mentioned, because he's just like, he can't rely on anyone else. But Draymond's worse, because he start fighting, creating turnovers. He doesn't score, so he might be walking towards, and he has a high salary, so you might be talking about dumping his salary somewhere else for a trade. And the Warriors might have to rebuild. Like, reality is that if we don't move forward, it's time to build around Jim Butler and Stephen Curry. But they got really well together. So you're going to have to, everyone else is going to be tradable for me, because it was just disappointing. You can't rely on anyone else. Just like, maybe you're going to give a little bit of pass for the rookies that they can improve. They're young, like Pozinski and Quinton Post. But Tracy Jackson, GP2, Kevin Looney, Buddy Hield, Draymond Green, I think they all become tradable. And it's just tough. Like, obviously, you can see that I'm frustrated. I'm pissed with the game last night. The Warriors dropped a massive opportunity to move forward. And even if they move forward right now, they're going to face a Minnesota team with Anthony Edwards playing massively good basketball. Rested for 2 games more, right? They play like 5 games. And yeah, so the Warriors just dropped a massive opportunity. They dodged a bullet. And it's just frustrating. Last night is just unbearable how they could not score. I think the Warriors so far, they are losing for themselves. I know the Rockets are a great defense, but it's just open shots. Missing open shots is not the defense credit. It's just you not doing what you're supposed to do. We see each other tomorrow. I hope the Warriors can complete the series leave everything behind, and then we can talk again. But you have a great weekend.